and Dave, we're a dynamic duo. Talking about the worst, can you feel the flow? We dissect the plot, the acting is insane. Laughing at the dialogue, these movies are a pain. Grab your popcorn, settle in for the ride. Our podcast is the place where bad movies collide. We're true blue fans of the Riff Tracks crew. Mocking cheesy films, it's what they love to do. From Plan 9 to The Room, we've seen it all. They'll make you laugh and cringe, they always give their all. True Blue Riffcast, we're your podcast hosts, talking about the movies that are worst of the worst. True Blue Riffcast, join us on this quest to find the laughs in films that failed the test. Tuesdays at 10.
Hey guys, welcome to the True Blue Riffcast with your hosts, Jeremy and Dave. My name is Christine DeBelle, but many of you know me as Susan from A Talking Cat. And as you know, I have to go and get my cheese puffs out of the oven. So have a great time with Jeremy and Dave. See you soon.
Thanks, Christine. This is the True Blue Riffcast, the number one Riff Tracks podcast in the world. I am Jeremy, and I'm joined, as always, by...
What's up, everyone? I'm Dave. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Just
right,
fine.
That's awesome. You'll notice I'm not in my car because I don't want to... I decided to try something new. I didn't want to spend literally all day in my car. So I'm like, why don't I just go inside and see if I can set up? It might take 10 minutes of setup, but I can sacrifice that for the podcast.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Not being in your car from what like 6 in the morning today, 5 somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have a lot to talk about today.
We sure do. Oh my
we've
God.
been off the last couple weeks. We're going to be talking a little bit about a bunch of different things. Undefeatable, the riff from a couple weeks ago. Another movie starring Cynthia Rothrock. And then Rock, the newest riff from
That was a nice
Bridget
little
and Mary
segue.
Jo that just came out, what, was that Friday? That was this last Friday, right?
Yeah, it was this last Friday. And this is something that's a little bit interesting because we usually only talk about one Riff Tracks movie per episode these days. So this is a little bit of a throwback to the old days. Speaking of the old days, Jeremy, didn't something really cool happen with the podcast and a little aside of the Tubes and You?
Yeah, since Google killed yet another service, because they like to do that, Google Podcasts is gone and dead, and so now our podcast is on YouTube, just straight up on YouTube.
Nice.
The whole thing.
Well, yeah,
we have
nice.
a playlist, and there's 120 some odd episodes now, and
That is insane. That's crazy. I didn't know. I know last year we hit our 100th episode.
yep.
And I know we have a significant history, but just going through it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't remember any of these.
Yeah, there's a ton. So if you're one of the people who uses YouTube or YouTube Music to listen to your stuff, you can listen to us on there now as well. Just thought that was a fun little thing to note.
Yes, it's very convenient. I've actually been listening to some of the recent podcasts, and I'm just like, how do I we have a lot of fun doing this, but I don't know how I forget all this stuff. Maybe it's because I'm old and my brain's like, nope, you don't need this anymore.
Yeah. There's a finite amount of space up in here.
Yeah, up there. Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had too much craziness going on at work lately, which is kind of nice. Other than
no.
Inside Out 2 breaking $1 billion at the worldwide box office. First movie to do that since Barbie of last year.
Yeah.
And probably one of only 2, maybe 3 movies this year that's going to do it. The other one, obviously, is going to be Deadpool and Wolverine. That's going to rake in an obscene amount of money.
Because I heard that's supposed to be like the No Way Home. Was it No Way Home?
Yeah,
the Spider-Man movie. It's supposed to be like that before like the X-Men.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to bring like everyone in, and
Well, that's what other rumors are saying. We'll figure it out. We'll see it eventually.
The Future Past is a decade old.
Crazy.
How do you feel
Despicable
about that?
Me 4, I don't think it's going to do $1 billion. It'll do pretty good, but I don't think that actually opens tomorrow. I'm not sure it'll do $1 billion. It might, but I don't know. It's only time will tell. Other movies we got on the weekend box office: number 2, Quiet Place Day 1, bringing in a little over $50 million on its opening weekend. Horizon and American Saga Chapter 1. That is Kevin Costner's new movie that was originally going to be a miniseries, and he's like, "No, I'll fund it, I'll publish it, or I'll produce it. I want to make these movies." Chapter 1 came out a couple weeks ago. This past weekend, my time is all screwed up. Chapter 2 comes out in August, and then apparently he's already working on chapters 3 and 4. It was supposed to be a 10-part miniseries, and it's not bringing in the people. It's made $11 million, which ain't great. Bad Boys Ride or Die is down to 4th place, and Kalki, an Indian movie, is premiered at 5th place, so that's kind of cool.
That's nice.
In the U.S. box office. I mean,
Is
you know,
it in
it's
English?
No, it is not in English. I'm sure it's subtitled. We didn't get it at our theater, but well, Dave, not a lot to talk about on the weekend box office, but
not a ton.
We definitely have something to talk about in what the hell James Wan is doing.
Oh my gosh, guys! Crazy.
He thinks he's going to have a $10 million budget for this movie, and he thinks that He thinks that the $10 million budget is going to look more realistic than the Eagles in the $160 million Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
See, now that's a movie. Now I know Citizen Yarn is way into Planet of the Apes. I didn't even know that there was a 4th Planet of the Apes movie until she posted about it in our Discord. I was like, they made another one?
I mean, there's what, like 20 of those now total?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about the more like
the prequels. The prequels.
Yeah, like the current generation of Planet of the Apes movies.
Yeah, these are the prequels for the original Charlton Heston. Get your dirty paws
hilarious?
off me.
When I watched the first one, what was it? Like the one that came out like 2013, the one with James Franco.
Was that like Rise of the Planet of the Apes or something?
Yeah, something like that. The very first one. They kept trying to like in the background they kept talking about this space program, this all these astronauts that were this launch that was going up, and then the astronauts were lost, and then like the 3rd or 4th time they set this up, be like astronauts lost. I was like, why do they keep cutting away to this weird astronaut thing? What does that have anything to do with this? And then immediately I got like, oh right, Planet of the Apes.
The original movie, yeah. Gotta tie it in somehow. Yeah, enough of the Planet of the Apes. That's probably going to be the next title, Oliver. I vote for that one. Enough of the Planet of the Apes.
Well, I thought the last was like War for the Planet of the Apes. I thought that was supposed to be I thought that was supposed to be the last one because didn't Caesar die in that?
Yeah,
I
this one
didn't
takes
see it.
place like centuries later. I don't know. Yes, I remember
2001
the
remake is weird,
Marky Mark,
Oliver.
Marky Mark, and the Monkey Bunch.
Yeah, but yeah, it's very strange. Um, yeah. So James Wen is delusional. He thinks that I don't know where he keeps thinking he's gonna get like this $10 million budget from. Because like here, let's look up Pandemic 3 because I actually listened to the podcast of that we did for Pandemic 3. I actually think that's our best podcast. And it actually has a community note on it. I have no idea how it knows what the hell we were talking about. Because
Yeah,
it's
it
like
has a
global
community
warming is
note about
this.
climate change, and I'm like,
Yeah, about climate change. Like we were talking, like we weren't talking about, like we weren't like being like
Joe
climate
Rogan.
change deniers, but let's not get into that. But it's like it makes us look like we were talking about something like no, we're just talking about this stupid movie.
I
Um,
actually put in not an appeal, but it let me like make a comment about it to them.
uh-huh.
To YouTube, and I said that we were not talking about climate change as an issue. We were just talking about it and solutions
In
for it as
context.
they were presented to us in the movie.
Oh my gosh. Pandemic
What?
3 doesn't have a Wikipedia page, but Pandemic 2 does.
What?
I wanted to see how much money it made, but I guess whatever. But I know that I've raised more money out. I know I raised more money on Kickstarter than he did.
Yeah, that
Uh,
Kickstarter was really sad for.
that
It was like he got was
like
like
what?
$200 and some odd dollars, like 260
No, it was
bucks or
like
something.
$60. It was less than
Jeez.
that. It was like embarrassing. Like I've done failed Kickstarters that have made like at least $3,000,
Yeah.
but I didn't get to see any of that money. That's okay because right now I just write books for free now.
But that's all really James Wen's been doing, posting pictures and
Speaking of which, Jeremy, can I
Hollywood.
show this on the podcast what I got today?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So you know how I like to write books. Since we last saw each other, I went ahead and the book was finished. The beta readers gave me back all their notes. Jeremy offered to go through and find all my typos and stuff, and I was like, "Great, I can do that." But then I read it like two more times, and I was like, "You know what? I do not want to read this again."
It's good
I've read it.
enough.
Yeah. But anyway, so I just got this today. It's available.
Ooh. Ah.
Oh, look at that. Nostalgia
Nice.
Inc. This is this is the third novel I've written since the pandemic. The third in like this generation of books. It's the 10th overall. It's the sixth prose novel that I've written, and 10th overall if you count the 4 volumes of storybook. It's available now on Amazon, and you can get it Kindle, hardcover, paperback. It's about magic tattoos and art forgery, which is like really all I can say. Citizen Yarn has read it, and she'll tell you that I can't really tell you much more than that without getting Jeremy's channel immediately demonetized.
Yeah, please don't.
So,
I would appreciate that.
yes. Oh, yeah. Citizen
It's
Yarn
cat
has
approved.
the other, as far as I know, Citizen Yarn has the only other physical copy of it that exists. And she put a copy of it, her cat reading it in our Discord. It's pretty good. And I saw it. I was like, that is great. And I will tell you guys all, this is not an AI generated cover. I know that there's a big problem with self published people getting garbage AI art and just slapping it on there and saying, artists aren't getting paid. I paid $12 for this stock image. Okay,
Ooh.
so an artist got paid. and I think it looks pretty good for a $12 stock image, honestly.
Yeah, that's a steal.
Yep. So, Nostalgia Inc. Pick it up. It's $5 on Kindle, and I actually have moved all of my other books from because I used to use this. I used a publisher for a long time called Lulu, and I moved I moved Monkey and the other ones, not spaghetti and meatballs, because that you guys are never going to see that. Because, that's going to be my trunk novel, and the only way you guys will see it is if I die tragically. So let's hope we don't. But I moved them all over directly to Amazon because I was getting I don't want to say I was making next to nothing on the physical copies of Monkey and the other ones. But I will say, I won't say I was making nothing, but I was making less than Jeremy, are we wearing the same shirt?
It took you long enough to notice. It's
I'm just like, what am I seeing?
You posted the picture into the Discord that you were going to be inside and not in your car. And I noticed you had that shirt on. I bought this shirt 2 weeks ago on clearance for $5. And
I bought this for $8 a year ago. Yeah.
And I said, I need to go put that shirt on and wear the same shirt as Dave and see how long it takes him to notice that I'm wearing the same thing.
Well, okay, so we were talking for 5 minutes before, right? So it took me 20 minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was good. No, just because I saw it, because you guys can't see, but I'm looking at my phone. I have my phone and my computer here, and I'm right here, and Jeremy's right there, and then the Star Wars lined up perfectly, and I was like, "What is happening there?" It's I thought something was wrong with my phone, but anyway, wow.
Oh, that's fun.
That's pretty good. So,
all right, well, now it's time for Dave that riff. Moving right along, chucking right along.
I didn't notice we were wearing the same shirt, so I'm definitely going to do awesome. Are you going to ask me 10 questions again this time?
Nope. This is a regular head-to-head.
Nice.
It's 2 Riff Tracks Live movies.
Oh.
Riff Tracks Live Hobgoblins or Riff Tracks Live Sharknado.
Oh, all right.
Hey, you got to be able to do at least as good as I did with yours last time. Beaks and what was the other one?
Beaks
it was tough.
It was Beaks and Psychotronic Man.
Yeah, some of them were tough, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Let's do it.
Let's start with this one. Grenades. They're flamethrowers.
That's Hobgoblins.
That is Hobgoblins. Well, let's see. Lots of stock footage, bad comic relief, general messing around for time.
Stock footage? Is that Sharknado?
That is Sharknado.
Okay.
See, look at that. You're already 2 for 2. Already doing better than I did last time. Let's see. What's next? I was living on the bus and nobody ever knew. Fools!
I think that's Sharknado.
That is Sharknado. Let's see.
Speaking of Sharknado, I redecorated.
Yes.
Took down some 5-year-old wrestling posters, and I pulled out the old Riff Tracks Live Kickstarter posters, and you can see the epic. This is how long I've been a Riff Tracks fan. I mean, longer than this, but there's 2 from the 2014 Sharknado and Godzilla. 2015.
The Crappening
live shows. The Crappening and the 2019 live shows.
Nice. I think the only poster I have is the ticket line one. Let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah. I think I wet my pants. Hey, I'm fully kidding.
I think I wet my pants. Let's say that's hobgoblins.
That is hobgoblins.
Okay.
Oh, let's
Wet
see.
my pants. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just trying to think like who that was. Is that Kevin? No,
That was
I thought it
the
other guy.
cool girl.
Oh, was that Daphne?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. Maybe the rules of nature follow the same rules as Super Mario bosses.
No, that's Sharknado, I think.
That's Sharknado. One more, and you get a perfect score.
Oh yeah, well, guys, I'm gonna cock it up right now.
All right, I gotta see if I can actually get through this whole thing. It's a long one. Were you issued one of the newer M1682 service rifles, modified for M203 grenade launcher attachments?
Hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins.
Yeah,
There you go.
I know because like that was Nick. Came back from basic training. We don't learn any of that shit.
There you go. 6 for 6. Good job, Dave.
Nice.
A perfect score.
Perfect score. Oh, Oliver has subscribed for 7 months. Thank you, Oliver.
Yes, thank you. Okay, before we start talking about this first one, I'm not going to say what it is because I'm going to let Dave bring this up. But Undefeatable has given us a new addition to the True Blue lexicon.
Yeah. So I was watching this last week, and I was like, "There's a lot about this," and it has Cynthia Rothrock in it. And I was like, "There's a lot about this that seems like really familiar." And I started doing some Googling and IMDbing, and this is many of you are probably familiar with a Riff Tracks movie called Honor and Glory, starring Cynthia Rothrock. It's vintage 2016 Riff Tracks, so it's really really good, and it's just super weird. It has Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat in it, and it has like this like weird incomprehensible plot, and a guy in it who he's like like evil businessman like Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3. But he has like these big old weird rings on his arms. He's always working out, and he went and he told my neighbor's mowing their lawn. Hang on. Hang on.
It's okay, we can't hear it.
Sorry, guys. Can't hear it?
Nope.
Okay. Let me know if you can hear it, and I'll shut the window. Very famously, like one of the things people remember about it a lot is that this guy, this rich villain in Honor and Glory, says like someone comes up to him and says, "Former President Reagan, we have a lunch today with President Reagan," and this was like shot in like 1990, and evil guys would be like, "What the hell with that old bastard? Like, tell him to go stick it." Like they're trying to establish that he is like, you ban somebody?
Yep.
That he's like this big guy that he could just blow off President Reagan, and then like I came up with a horrible joke that I'm going to tell, and it's just like if this was shot in '90. It's just be like, you know what? Like he's not gonna like, dude. Reagan's not gonna care that you don't want to have lunch with him. Number one, because he's President Reagan, and he wouldn't care anyway. But even if he did, chances are he's not going to remember. So,
I mean, you're not wrong.
yeah. So, but anyway, all that. Now I told you all that about Honor and Glory to talk to you about a bunch of other movies from Riff Tracks. And they're Mutant and Nightmare at Noon, that both star Bo Hopkins and Wings Hauser and a bunch of other the same people in it. And another one is like
and they're basically the same movie too. Nightmare at Noon and Mutant are like the same plot and everything.
Like to a lesser extent, a talking cat and Santa Summer House. They don't really have the same cast, but like they have the same location, and it's just like a lot of the same beats that are like repeated. And then there's another one that has the same cast and is sort of the same thing, but like one is like a little bit not as interesting. And that's Fatal Combat and Street Law, which we've talked about both on this podcast. Now, I said all that because Undefeatable is is basically a B-side movie to Honor and Glory. It has the same cast, has the same director, I think the same writer, and it's like it's more it's better. It's more comprehensible, I guess, in like plot, but it's not like as charming or as interesting as Honor and Glory. The guy who told Reagan that he can go like F off is now like a cop.
Yeah, he's a detective in this one.
Yeah, yeah, and he's like one of the good guys. And Cynthia Rothrock is a lot of the movies left me. I watched it a week ago. A lot of it's left me, but it's like an inferior Honor and Glory. So it's like a B-side. It's like the B-side movie, the B-side to Honor and Glory.
Except for that, this movie is known in kind of bad movie circles for one scene, and it's the final like boss fight against with the Stingray or whatever his name was, and it's because when they're fighting him, she like kicks him up against the wall, and like there's like a hook or like a coat hook thing on the wall, and it goes right into his eye, and he pulls it off, and his eye's like on the thing, and he's like, ah, and it's like a classic.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a classic bad movie thing. The whole fight at the end is.
Let me tell you something. That didn't impress me.
But he's like he's a serial killer rapist. That's how he's described in this
serial killer rapist. But he also has a mom fetish, which is the thing I remember most about him. It was. I was just like, why that? Why the mom fetish? Why? I just don't. It's very uncomfortable.
There's a couple of interesting tidbits about this movie. Nothing crazy, like Cynthia Rothrock didn't die in the Pentagon or anything like that. But
okay, I wasn't even going to bring that up, but okay.
The actress playing her sister didn't get paid, so she dipped out during filming. She's like, fine, you're not going to pay me. I'm not going to finish this movie. So
good for her.
In the scene where Cynthia Rothrock's character is like crying over her sister's dead body, she had to pretend that there was a body there, and because the lady left before they could finish filming that scene. So she was crying over nothing. The only thing that was there is the director's hand.
Oh.
I thought that was
about that scene.
Yes.
Can I say something about that scene? Cynthia Rothrock. You know I love you, right? I know you're watching, and I know you care deeply about what me, Dave Chadwick, on the True Blue Ripcast has to say. Don't act. You don't need to. It's not your strong suit. We need to downplay your weaknesses as an actress and promote and what you're actually there to do, which is to be a kick-ass martial artist lady. Okay. Yeah. When you try to act, it's really uncomfortable. And I don't think it's her fault, but they wrote this part for her, and they had her do things that are well outside of her acting range, which is just ball and show this breakdown of what it would be like to see your sister's dead body right there in front of you.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I'm looking through Cynthia's her her filmography, and
Kind of O'Brien.
there's a movie she was in a movie she was in 2022 called
What?
called Cool Cat Saves the Kids, and it's a guy dressed up like a cat, like a cat like mascot suit. And Cool Cat is the coolest cat in the world, but Butch the bully hates him and always tries to bully him. And Cool Cat shows kids how to win and be cool. Cynthia Rothrock plays Mama Cat. Vivica A. Fox is in this movie. And Eric Estrada is in this movie.
No, okay, look, I'm looking at it now. I see Eric Estrada. I see Eric Roberts. I see Vivica A. Fox. Jeremy, we have to watch this movie.
Oh my gosh. And the guy who plays Daddy Derek. Ooh, that's bad. I didn't like saying that.
Oh, yeah, that's real bad.
He's the writer and the director of the movie.
Well, of course he is. It's on Tubi?
Is it really? All right.
Yeah, it's on
All
Tubi.
right.
You can watch it for free.
Gonna have
It
to
says
watch
I've
it.
already watched it, which I don't believe. Or is that something that I can just click? It says I've already watched it, but that's a lie. I don't have to.
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna have to definitely check that one out.
Yeah,
Oh.
check that out and see if it's something that I might be interested in. And tell me if I'm going to get angry watching this, the way I get angry watching a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um,
Also, the other little bit of trivia I wanted to say was that the knife that the bad guy uses in the final fight scene was the same kind of knife used in Cobra, which was commissioned by Stallone from the knife maker. So that was interesting.
okay, so like, is it the same? Is it the same knife that Stallone uses in Cobra?
It says it's the same kind of knife, so they must have got another one made or something. Unless it was the actual knife. I don't know. This just has all kinds of extra little riff tracks connections.
My name's Mary.
That's the best. Anyway, it's fine. It's a fine movie. It's just watch Honor
It's
and Glory,
okay.
though. Like Honor and Glory is so much more
Yeah,
entertaining.
no, yeah. See, that's the thing. It's not Honor and Glory. I mean, like, I was gonna say, like, we came in. And Street Law is interesting. We had a lot to say about Street Law, but it's not Fatal Combat. Fatal
No.
Combat is way, way better in terms of John Stonehorn movies. I think if I had to choose one between Mutant and Nightmare at Noon, probably Mutant. But I mean, Nightmare at Noon does have those cool Blue Thunder helicopter chase scenes.
Yeah, and see, I liked Nightmare at Noon better than Mutant.
Okay.
There's some people who aren't going to know what we're talking about because Nightmare at Noon doesn't
Nightmare
exist
is not
anymore.
available anymore.
It's one of the missing
It's one of the lost.
riffs,
It's
one of the
one of the
lost
lost.
riffs. Like how we have lost episodes of the podcast.
Yeah, that like, and some of them, like the Inspector Mom 2 episode. I'm very salty that is a lost episode. And then there
Yeah.
are other lost episodes that I'm just like, hey, they can stay lost.
Yeah, some of them aren't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I don't have much
fine.
to say about Undefeatable. It's okay. I mean, like, I really feel like for a long time I was saying that we are on the cusp of being in another golden age of riff tracks. I actually feel that we were in it for that entire time that I was actually saying that. But I feel like, we're still in it, and we're still getting a lot of really good releases. Yeah.
Yeah, and
So undefeatable.
we'll talk about that a little bit more after we talk about this next movie, Rock, Rock, Rock.
Rock, rock, rock.
Which
From a Cynthia Rock movie to Rock, Rock, Rock. Rock,
yes.
Rock, Rock, starring Cynthia Rock and The Rock. And Chris Rock.
yes. So this
Rock around the
movie,
clock.
I really hesitate to call this a movie because this was like,
No, it really isn't.
it felt like proto MTV almost, like,
Yeah,
because it was just song, a little skit,
some like
little skit,
odd-
song, skit song,
like
song.
trying to
And then we got the wonderful stuff with Frankie Lyman, which I'm gonna try not to go into, because it's not great. But he did a great song, "Why Do Fools Fall in Love," and as they said in the movie, a fool fell in love, and it led to a very long Wikipedia entry.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Definitely check that out. I agree with Oliver. He said there was either too much music or too much bank lingo in this, because it was about the dumbest girl in the world who wants to go to prom. It was prom. I couldn't remember if it was prom or just a dance. I just watched this movie, guys, and I can't remember. And she needed $15 to buy the dress that she wanted, but she blew her allowance on candy and ice cream and the jukebox and Elvis Presley.
And she documented all of it.
Yeah, she wrote it all down. She's like, I had a budget, I just didn't stick to it. And so Dad's looking at it, and he's just like, all right, that's it. You're just not getting another cent, and we're going to cancel all of our charge cards. So she can't just go to the store and buy herself a dress on credit. And she goes to, like, the bank to talk to a guy, like...
Yeah, she tries to, like, scam. She has this elaborate scam to get people to give her money to buy a dress. Like, I couldn't
I'm only going to
charge
1% interest. Well, what's 1% of $1? It's $1. And the friend's like, or not the friend, I guess she was a rival, but she's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to tell her she's wrong. I'm just going to take her for her whole $15, and then I'm never going to pay it back because it's against the law to charge 100% interest on a loan, even though she's not like an actual... She turned into a loan shark, basically, is what it was.
Yeah.
And in between, there's songs. We got some amazing songs in this. It gave me one of my favorite riffs where the character Dory is singing a song, which is actually Connie Francis singing the song, and Dory's mouthing along with it.
Tuesday Weld, it looks like she never sung a song in her life.
Well, she might not have. She might not have. And we'll get to that. That is my disturbing fact for the episode. We'll get to that.
Oh no!
So
not the Frankie Lyman stuff isn't the disturbing stuff.
No.
Okay.
It kind of adds some context to something at the end of the movie, but she's singing this song, and I think it was Mary Jo. One of them said, "Even though this song has been playing for 20 minutes, I timed it." And it's only been 2 minutes. And I'm like, that's the Copper Mountain effect right there. This movie was so full of it. Even my wife turned to me and said, how is this movie still going? And that was 40 minutes into it.
That's not even the worst part of it, Jeremy. I don't know what the worst part of it is.
What?
Is that this movie is 65 minutes long.
Yes.
There is a 95 minute, it's a public domain movie. Okay, they could have gotten the full 95 minutes. I don't
95
know,
minutes is way too much of this.
95 minutes. I don't want to say this is worse than Copper Mountain because I could tolerate a lot of the stuff that's like I wasn't wishing for death during this movie,
You
but
know, I have a theory. Since you said that there's a longer version, I was looking at the Wikipedia page earlier, and it mentioned that the while the movie entered public domain, some of the musical numbers may have been copyrighted separately. So if that's the case, then it's like it's a Wonderful Life situation where they had to cut out the
yeah,
bits with Clarence because that's the part that has the copyright on it still. So
yeah,
I'm
they got put
wondering
on Twitch eventually. Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's why
Oh,
this isn't the full version.
yeah,
Uh
yeah, that makes sense.
okay, so she goes to prom. There's this really extra confusing scene where Dory goes to the department store to get the dress that the other girl put up as collateral on the loan. She went there to claim it, and her dad's there, and then the other girl and her dad's there, and the two dads are arguing about this dress and who gets the dress, and the dad's like, I just want my $30, even though this dress was $45 because the girl returned the $30 dress to buy the $45 dress with the extra $15 that she finagled from Dory. So they're like, Dory's just like, Dad, you just have to pay him $30, and then we'll get this $45 dress for $30. And none of it made any damn sense.
You
And
want to know? Okay.
they go to the prom. She gets the dress that she wants, which is the cheaper $30 dress. And the very last scene is like her and the guy Tommy that she liked and wanted to go to prom with, and they like kiss each other, and you can tell that he is extremely uncomfortable while he is kissing her. Like, it's visible. A lot of the people looked uncomfortable in this movie, especially during like the lip syncing stuff, but this specifically was uncomfortable looking, and there's a very good reason for that. The actor who played him was 21 at the time of filming. Tuesday Weld turned 13 during filming. Yeah. He
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Jeremy, do you remember that movie, Demons of Ludlow? There was a girl in it that died on 9/11. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, she was 13, so he had to kiss. This 21-year-old had to kiss a 13-year-old.
Oh, no.
There you go. There's the disturbing
bad.
fact of this episode. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, a reverse blank check, yeah. Absolutely. What's
Okay.
good from Mikey, but yeah.
But, I mean, okay, so here's the thing with the dress scam and everything. I know I'm going to make all the dads mad, but the dad should have bought her the dress to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
like, meatloaf. I mean, like that's what it seems like. It's like, come on, dude. It's your daughter and she's going to prom. Buy her the dress, you cheap bastard.
Yeah,
But
I agree,
But-
100%.
my opinion. But also, I mean, like, okay, so she ran out of her allowance buying kid things,
Yeah,
in the 1950s. Okay, wouldn't it, like, instead of like blindsiding her and telling her like she went to the movies and then went to the place the next day to go buy the dress because apparently she has access to like her parents' charge account there. Instead
Yeah.
of like letting her get blindsided at the dress shop, why didn't he just like sit her down and be like, hey, look, this is how money works. And I mean, like I guess he kind of sort of did that, but like she was trying to go to the movies and like it seemed like he was just trying to parent on like, by like he was just trying to parent indirectly and hope that like his daughter would like learn the lesson indirectly and not actually have to talk to her about anything.
Yeah.
So that's what it seemed like to me, and it resulted. I mean, like, what's she gonna do? She's not gonna not go to prom. She's gonna come up with a usury with a what's it called? Usury.
Yeah.
Where, like what she was doing, like these ridiculous high interest rates. She came up with this scam, but she's like, I'm going to prom.
Yeah.
Like, I'm getting that dress. Screw everybody.
It makes sense. She was 13. Of course, she's not going to know how this stuff works, right? Oh man, that's okay. So rock.
Rock.
I have a theory as to why Matthew J. Elliott has been ill for so long.
Because you have to write for Rock.
He has to keep watching these movies. He's never gonna properly heal if he has to keep doing this stuff.
Oh my gosh, poor Matthew. It's so bad for him.
I do. I really do.
It's terrible what he's going through.
It's really bad. And then you throw this stuff on top of it. It's like, I couldn't imagine watching this movie vanilla. Like, anyway, it's a good riff. The movie is tedium. The movie itself was copper mountaining all over the place.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But the riff was very good. There was a lot that I was laughing at. All the jokes about the one guy with Frankie Lyman and the teenagers were like, the tall guy has to go. He has to put his kid to bed. Like, outstanding. They were so good.
That was pretty good.
Bridget Mary Joe riffs are so fun.
Yeah. We need to talk about them more. I think in the Discord it was pointed out the last Riff Track Presents episode we did was Spectre Mom 2.
Yeah.
Which, like I was like, well, that wasn't that long ago. Like, Dave, that was December and it's July.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
We need to get back on doing some Matthew J and Ian stuff too. There's plenty of that we haven't even touched, and we really should. We really should go back through some of their older
we really
stuff.
Need
and
to.
There's a lot of great stuff in that catalog.
Like a lot more.
Speaking of going back through things, we have reached the halfway point in the year of riff tracks and everything else really, but and usually around this time we do a full episode talking about our favorite riffs of the first half of the year. This year, we really only have to talk about what's in second place and what's in third place. Because first place, hands down, is
Creating Rem Lazar.
Creating Rem Lazar. And Dave and I were talking about this earlier.
You didn't even we did not talk about that. That was not arranged.
No.
Like obviously the number one is Rem Lazar.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just nothing that can like there's nothing so far that, and that's not to say that there haven't been excellent riffs this year. There have been a ton of them, but Creating Rem Lazar is just like nothing's going to beat it. And I think that like going forward through even through the end of the year, it's July, and I'll say it, I think that like if anything's going to beat Creating Rem Lazar, it's not going to be Point Break, and Point Break's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
But we know Point Break. Point Break is a known entity. I can't think of anything that, like a known movie, that can beat Creating Rem Lazar for Riff of the Year. I think it would have to be something that we don't know exists at this point.
Yeah. Even for me, I did mention this to Dave earlier, even if they ended up doing Haunted Ween this year, it's not going to top creating Remlazar. As much as I love Haunted Ween and want them to do it, it's not going to be able to top creating Remlazar. That is one of those special, instant classic riffs. Like, I bought the movie on Blu-ray after the riff came out.
It's
just a plain movie.
It's one of our custom emojis in the Discord.
Yeah, custom emoji in the Discord, and right here, look at this. We got this, and we got this. Bam! Even in my Twitch stream, I have Remlazar and the Quixotic Medallion. Just that movie is something special, and I was going through the catalog from this year, and Spy High was a lot of fun.
Spy High was great.
I don't think it's top 3 for me this year, though. I don't know if you'll be able to hear that. My neighbor's lighting off fireworks, but
top 3 at this point.
For me, and I'm not sure which one's 2 and which one's 3. It's Little Mermaid and Grimm Tracks are my 2 and 3. But I'm not sure which one's 2 or which one's 3. Well, we're wearing the same shirt, person? Dave.
That was literally because so the Little Mermaid and Grimm Tracks, and I'll even throw the Amazing Bulk in there, just because. I mean, I hate the movie, but I think that's probably 4. But I think, man, that is a tough call between which is number 2, Grimm Tracks or The Little Mermaid. But
I think I need to watch them again to make a better determination.
Well, but the Little Mermaid is just so unique and out there. But Grimm Tracks also has Cypher in the Snow, which is just amazing. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think it's those 3. I think it's creating Remlazar, and then it's a toss-up between which would have to be better, the Little Mermaid or Grimm Tracks. And I think I'm leaning a little bit towards.
It's tough. It's very tough.
It is tough. It is very tough because gun to my head, I think I'd have to say Grimm Tracks. But man, it's a tough choice. It's a very, very tough choice.
Yeah, and there's other movies that had such potential this year, like Hell of the Living Dead. If it wouldn't have had the scene in the jungle, which was very, very, very uncomfortable and bad, that movie would be up probably higher than it is for me overall. Because I love bad zombie movies like that. And that one that was too much, though. I've
already forgotten so much about Hell of the Living Dead. Did we talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that episode should be going up soon.
Okay.
The next one that's going up will be the Demons of Ludlow episode. That's the next full episode that'll go up on podcast platforms.
I have a theory that episode broke the podcast. It really did. Like everything is going to be pre and post Demons of Ludlow.
Yeah, there's a very good chance of that.
Yeah. We should get a Pilgrim Girl emoji if you want to get on that.
All right, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it. I'll use the one that's on the poster, the face that's on the poster, and I'll do it.
Nice.
Coming soon to a Discord near you.
But what else is what was that one with the Mad Max with what's her face from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Karen Allen, Terminus.
with the oily baby men all in the truck.
Yeah, the oily baby men. Yeah. Ugh. That's
And the mouth.
Yeah, the mouth. I hated that thing. I wanted it to die. uh, I mean, what else have we had this year?
The hobo, Kung Fu Hobo.
Oh,
For Life or
Kung Fu
Death.
Hobo, where just like it was like this knockoff Chinese movie where it had Jacob from Lost as a Kung Fu Hobo, and like the Who Gives a Shit meter was just off the charts.
Yep. Hangman, the one with Sandy Bullock.
With Sandra Bullock's.
And of course,
talked about
Demons of
that, didn't we?
Ludlow. Yeah, we talked about Hangman. Ember Days, Ouija Shark, Hell of the Living Dead.
Ouija Shark. Now, is Ouija Shark a? I think that's a B. I think that's a B movie.
Yeah, it's kind of a B-side to Apex Predators.
It's a B-side movie of Jurassic Shark. Yeah.
Or Jurassic Shark, yeah, not Apex. Apex Predator was Mel Novak and the other person from Paradise Motel. The woman.
You know what we haven't
I don't remember her name.
You know what we haven't talked about is
What's
that
that?
the last time I don't know if the people will remember this, and you have emote only enabled for some reason.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask chat if they remember.
Here, let me turn it off.
Okay. I was going to ask chat if they remember this discussion that we had the last time about a short film that I was in 2012 by this guy named Mel Crow. Did you watch that movie? Because I went and I found it the next day. I did a little bit of research, and I was like, "Oh no!" And I wanted to see if I made the cut.
No, I didn't actually watch it.
Okay, I watched.
I was at work and you sent it to me.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, and I believe I put the link to it in the Discord, and I said, guys, watch this. But please, like Mel Crow, like okay, so much came back to me about this guy. His name's Mel Crow, but his middle name is Brooks. His name is Mel Brooks Crow, and he thought that like because of this made him like for some reason that like this gave him a connection to Mel Brooks, and he calls himself Mel Brooks Crow, but he's just Mel Crow, and it's not a good movie. I watched it, and it's like 20 minutes, and it's real bad. Like the number of like terrible Utah-based awful movies that I'm in is just like stacking up. But I watched this thing, and I wanted to like see if I was in it, and I didn't make the cut. And I was like, thank God. And I think I know why. But
This I remember you telling me.
I was watching the credits, and it came up like zombies, and it said, and there's my name right there. And I was like, damn it! I was like, he put my name in this. He didn't put my face in there, which I'm thankful for. But like, my name is on it, and I was like, damn it! But I think I know why. Because that day I wore like they said like wear ratty old clothes, and I had like an old Hulkamania shirt from like 2002, and I was just like it had been camping, and I was just like, fine, I'll just wear this, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not in it because that's a registered trademark, and he's like, well, we can't have that in there.
You saved yourself.
Like, oh darn. I saved myself. I'm not going to be in it because I wore a Hulkamania. I wore a registered trademark, and like all the other people that were with me, they didn't make the cut either. And I have yet to be thanked by any of those people that were in the shot with me because they're not in a Mel Brooks Crow movie. But yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible and bad. And Jeremy actually went on there, like he went on into the comments, and he said, "Oh, where can I for the trailer?" And he's like, "Where can I
Yeah.
watch this?" And he went back and he took it down. I kind of felt bad because I said, "Guys, don't start drama with this guy. I don't want him in my life." But I
Well,
kind of felt
he
bad.
just had the whole thing posted on his YouTube channel, like in two
Yeah,
parts.
so,
So that's how long ago it was, because it was broken up into two 10-minute
yeah, that was like
segments.
before you could do like 10 hours of Star Trek: The Next Generation ambiance to fall asleep to, like things like that, But anyway, that's my follow up from a short movie that we talked about a month ago.
Yeah. So you can find it. It does exist out there, and Dave's not actually in the cut, so
Yeah, I'm not
He's
in the
like-
cut, thank God.
so he doesn't care if we watch it
Okay.
anymore.
I think my feet might be. Because I did see some Chucks on like a shot of feet, and I did wear Chucks back then. So that my feet might be in it, but my face is not. Thank God.
There's only a very small subset of people that are going to care about that, Dave.
Yeah. You don't see my toes. Isn't that like what those? Isn't that what feet freak are like into? Aren't they into toes?
I don't know.
I,
That's
the
not
senior
my,
is laughing hysterically.
that's not my bag. As
It's not
Austin
mine
Powers
either.
would say, it's not my bag, baby.
Baby, it's not my bag. Allow myself to introduce myself.
Oh man, 90s humor.
We're due for a Austin Powers reunion. They're doing everything else.
Yeah, give us an Austin Powers 4, you cowards.
Austin Powers 4, because Austin Powers 3 was really bad.
It'll be a Netflix exclusive, and it'll be even worse than 4. Even
You
worse.
think so?
Yeah. Or than 3. What did I say? 4? I don't know. I'm losing my mind here, folks.
Is there a 4? I don't think there's a 4.
No, just 3. Mike Myers has a
Myers
Chevy
has a
Chase?
Chevy
What?
reputation. He does?
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that either. I thought he was a really nice guy.
Well, shows how much we know.
Yeah. We were both very surprised to hear that.
Well, the Cat in the Hat, yeah, but that's... Yeah. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for us
No, wait a minute. I
today.
thought Rosie O'Donnell was the Cat in the Hat.
What? No.
Isn't she in a bad Dr. Seuss movie?
Rosie O'Donnell?
I think so.
I have no idea. My kids don't like the live action Grinch or Cat in the Hat.
Oh.
So I don't know.
She's
Oh,
in
Susan's on Broadway.
Seussical. That's
Okay,
why
whatever.
I thought that.
You were close. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for us today, guys.
Oh, okay. We're talking about Austin Powers now. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We're way off track here, so I think
Star
that's,
Wars.
Yeah, I think that's it. Star Wars. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Yes, thank you, Oliver, for welcoming us back. It's a nice 3-week break. Not nice because of work and stuff, but
Yeah, it wasn't
the reasonings
intentional.
behind it wasn't great. But we will be back here next week.
We will be, yes.
Not sure what we're going to be talking about yet, but we will be back here next week. And if you like the podcast, if you like what you heard today, and you want to support us in any way, the best way to do so is to follow us right here on Twitch, where we are live Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, or 7 if you're one of those weirdos on the West Coast. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. You, of course, can always subscribe or drop some bits or go to patreon.com/trueblueriffcast and support us over there. Otherwise, you can follow the podcast on Twitter, formerly known as X, at TBRiffcast, and I'm pretty much everywhere else at PBN Awesome.
Yes. I'm Dave. You can check me out on X, Amazon, Audible. I have a link tree. It's
Hold
on
up your book
my.
again.
Oh yeah, Nostalgia Inc. It's about magic tattoos and art forgery and a six-armed eyeball titty rape demon. So it's true. Ask Citizen Yarn. She read it. But check it out. It's $4.99 on the Kindle. Audible. Guys. I have to wait. I have to wait for my narrator to get out of jail. Ask her if she wants to do this.
Oh,
I need her.
okay. I know who you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So if we won't get into that, but I have to wait for her to get out of jail, which is in like a month. So
Yeah, it was what, like 90 days or something?
yeah, 90 days.
Not
Bull
too
crap.
bad.
Yeah,
All
but
things
she shouldn't
considered.
be there. She
Yeah.
shouldn't be there.
Anyway,
Like I read up on it, and it's crap. Yeah, she made a mistake, but yeah, I don't
anyway.
like it.
Yes, it'll be worth the wait, as Citizen Yarn says. But yeah, that's going to wrap us up. We will see you guys next Tuesday right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Rock till you die.
Living